Welcome to the Scientific Investor channel. Cryptocurrency market looking kind of stagnant now. It's still, we haven't moved much in last 24 hours if you look at either green or red area. But previously, if you look at last 7 days, we have moved a bit. Just if you look at XRP, it hasn't moved much. Now there's a chart of XRP. Now we'll do the technical analysis by the end of this video after going through other news and updates, and then we'll discuss through all of the updates which we have. Like there are some from Twitter, there are some from other news providers which shows multiple effects of crypto in multiple countries. Say this one is from India, and looking at the fundamentals, you can see that there are something happening in the background. Governments are becoming positive. They are bringing out new regulations based on this one. Then something interesting which haven't seen like this for the last 2-3 months. Then we have some giant movements in the XRP ledger. Then yes, of course, the virus is spreading. It's not about the coronavirus, actually it's about the XRP community. Now guys, if you like the content I provide on a regular basis, please do support the channel, hit the subscribe button. Now this is the first one from Morag Tommy. It's showing a new on-demand liquidity corridor which is from US dollar to Australian dollar. Now the details he's put out is like this. But the thing in this is I'm not actually sure how much valid this is, because there are questions still to be answered. And it will be answered soon as I get more confirmation about this particular corridor which is going live. I'll share that with you guys. Now this is a screenshot of that, and it's showing January 29, which is the recent one, showing the amount of value in USD to BTC markets. And the guy actually highlights that to one of its reply. He actually highlights that this is kind of exchange which offers the to and from ODL transactions in Australia. Now there's the next one from Shane Ellis, and it's kind of a screenshot in which Shane Ellis actually says, right, keep the price as low as possible for as long as possible. So it's like to keep the retail normal guys outside, and they did it with the .com. They will do it again. So he's actually asking, where, like Mr. BXRP is asking, are you the guy who did the paper? I have saved it but haven't read it yet. Can you share your background? Thank you. And he's telling that I work for UK government. Now yes, we definitely don't know whether he's from which department of government, because they have a lot of departments, right? If he's someone now who is entirely from an entirely different department who has nothing to do with this, then that's probably just speculation based on his experience. But if he's someone from the actual department which relates to the financial technology or the upcoming regulations for crypto, then that's gonna be huge. Now there's the next one from Alex Cobb, showing that the XRP to Mexican peso showing new all-time high, just jumps 15% higher. So you guys can actually see that the actual utility for XRP in different corridors, like towards Mexico, towards Philippines, these new corridors which have went live is now like they are hitting the all-time highs again and again and again, like the stock market, which is actually exploding. But at the same time, what I would like to highlight you guys is, say, when this is happening like this, say they actually targeted some of the corridors where the friction was too high, but the volume was less, say towards Philippines, towards Mexico, Brazil. But as of now, they're actually pointing the finger towards US dollar to euro. That's kind of a huge market. It's full of liquidity. The volume is too high, and comparatively the friction is a bit low. Still, they are actually targeting that market directly. I'm talking about the Ripple. When they are targeting that corridor with their product on-demand liquidity, that's ODL, using the digital asset, then we can understand that there is something going on in the background in which governments are included. They are involved. Because when you look at this, this is an article from finextra.com, which is pointed out by XRP Lightning the Way, is showing that Lloyd's Banking Group is closing 56 more branches. So they have closed it previously, right? So it's like 31 in Lloyd's, 10 Halifax, 15 Bank of Scotland branches between April and October. So it's going to be closed and 80 jobs are going to be out. So when they are doing this, they're doing this for something else, right? Because they're doing this because their customers are moving digital. They don't need the brick and mortar banks much more. Say if there is a community which is more than 80 years of old who don't know how to use the internet, who don't know how to use the mobiles, then yeah, you still need this. You'll still get some of the customers. But if you're moving to a country, say India, now that's just an example, but the problem there is the education is not that high, so all of them are not actually using the mobile application for banking. Yeah, a lot of guys are using the mobiles and internet in India. That's high, it's kind of record highs, but those who use internet banking for payments is kind of less compared to the whole population. But still, if you look at the country like South Korea, where the technology is so high, but the average age of people is we can say that it's around 50, and most of them, if we go out in the street, we can see around 70s, 80s, and those guys are not actually using their mobiles or internet banking. Instead, they'll just take out the old way, the passbook, bank book. They'll go to the bank, update their bank book, come back. I've seen personally that with my last landlord, who does the same. When I pay my rent through internet banking, they actually go to the bank, update their bank book, and come back because they don't know the new technology, new way. Now, before going to the next article, I would like to highlight the perspective laid out from Kevin Cage. If you read his lines, what you can understand is don't just jump into the riddlers. Because guys, as he say like this, I actually completely support him, or I completely agree with his statement, because you can't actually predict a timeline when guys are coming out with technical analysis or fundamentals or with a date, like something is gonna happen this day, more or less. It's not actually sure, it's just speculation. But when you're using technical analysis, say for example this, we are not actually predicting a time frame for this to happen. Now this white line is just for reference. If you want to delete that, it's okay, it's cool. But what is indicated here is, say for example, this is a head and shoulder pattern, and the target which we are looking here is around 0.3. But yes, this can take a bit more time and go to the upside, or it can trade there and go to the downside. So unless this is breaking to the upside and gets a confirmation of a bounce, it's not valid, right? So that's the benefit from technical analysis. It gives you an edge. So again, for him, I just completely agree with, unless we see a price movement to the upside, I don't actually believe the Riddler is saying, in 2 days this is going to happen, in 3 days this is going to happen. That's an entirely different story. Now, this is from News BTC, and it's showing ready for liftoff. 2-year downtrend, breakout cloud lead to $14 XRP. Now again, yes, they are pointing to $14 XRP. Is it possible? Yes, it's definitely possible, because I'm also personally looking for something around $20-25, but not tomorrow, not 1 week after. I'm looking that in the long term. During the next bull run, I completely believe that that's going to happen. Now, if we go through this article, what you can understand is that the speculation in the past has caused XRP to surge, resulting in massive moonshots that have allowed early adopters to retire early. Now, I bought XRP at 0.009 and XLM at 0.005 together. Allowed me to retire from being a doctor and focus on full-time trading. So you can actually see that. Now, what is your most memorable date ever? Feel free to share this in the string. So when they're actually talking about this, that didn't actually happen in a day. He may be an accumulator, say he accumulated the XRP and XLM much lower. He waited for a long term, say 1,000 days, 1,200 days, and then he got that pump. So if is someone who bought in at this area, then most probably he waited around 2 years. So that's not actually a bad thing, right? He actually waited that, and a good thing come for those who wait. You need the patience. Now there's the next one from PR, and PR Newswire. So it's showing MoneyGram for the expands account deposit service in Ukraine. So this is kind of a new adoption, new products. We talked about it in our previous video, right? New products are coming out which are utilizing XRP. If you guys actually want to go through this, I'll say you can do that. That's actually a good thing. Now, if you look at the key in there, it's the Industrial Bank is one of the leading banks in Ukraine, and they are actually adopting this. They are allowing their customers to do this via MoneyGram. So, the implementation is like this, in which they can actually have their bank deposit via MoneyGram. So that's actually cool. Usually what happens is you send MoneyGram through MoneyGram, someone else will pick up at the end, or you can do a bank deposit, but it was usually allowed in countries where they had that regulatory clarity. Now, moving on to the next one, this is from cointelegraph.com, and it's showing draft of Indian National Distributed Ledger Technology calls for a straight run digital rupee. God, that's kind of a delay. Sorry about that. But yeah, now when they're actually calling for a digital currency for a central bank, now we know that news came out from Davos last time that most of them are looking at a central bank digital currency. So if they are not looking at it, they'll fall behind. So when the prime minister from the country is informing that we are going to double the economy, say in 5 years or 10 years, they need something more. Based on the current stats from that country, the country is slowing quickly. The slowdown in the economy is actually affecting the common man. So if they actually want to go up, then they need some kind of change. If you look at the number of banks in that country and number of people who work outside and remit back to the country, it's huge market. So that means the banks in that country, say India, have a lot of contacts outside the country. See, they'll have banking relationship, corresponding banking relationship that knows through accounts, and when they are not liquid enough, they can actually take out that cash. They can use on-demand liquidity for that instead of keeping that capital dormant. Now, this is the next one from blog.coingate.com. It's showing, will XRP become the next go-to crypto for online shopping? It is actually possible because, as we talked just minutes before, the adoption and newer products using XRP is coming in. The big news for XRP community and our merchants alike: we launched native XRP support to our customers. XRP payments are on. Now, if you guys see this, one by one, a new institution, a day, a week, they're actually coming in. And the two reasons why they believe in XRP payments will grow is social and technical. Like, there is a lot of guys who actually believe in this technology, who are looking forward to this, because the ledger itself can handle 1,500 transactions per second. Now, at the cost of this, which is, minute. So compared to others, it will be so cheap. Now, this article, we can actually understand, like previously India was like, they are banning crypto. They're not going to, after that they changed the stance. No, we are not banning crypto. Instead, we won't allow any institutions to do that. So it's kind of the same. But now they just came out giving an award for Arora, Harshita Arora, for creating a crypto app. So that's kind of, indirect message that the government is kind of shifting the stance towards crypto. Now, this next one from at ReboRN13, showing that, a tweet from Corey Johnson. I'll say it again. This matters. XRP the standard. And in this one, he's actually standing with Canadian chief. And, it's actually showing. Now, the bottom one is like XRP Joker, the XRP community. He's actually shouting out to the XRP community that it is happening. Trump signs US-Mexico-Canada agreement, which includes new digital trade. Now, we don't know what new digital trade in that is like, but for sure something is going to happen, and they are going to adopt their own technology, because this is from San Francisco. Now, there's the next one tweet from Cato, and it's showing, there's a glitch in Coinbase, and it shows the price just went from the sky high to bottom, the ground. It just fell to the ground. So, I'm not sure. I don't actually trade in Coinbase, so I don't know personally if take profits, or if you're selling, your take profits are achieved, or if you are buying, your stop losses are kicked in. I don't know. If you guys have any idea about this, do let me know in the comment section below. So we'll discuss about that and research more about that. Now, this from Bank XRP, showing that about 5 million XRP sent to Bitstamp. is this cryptocurrency giant behind the curtain. Now it's actually talking about 11.6 million worth of XRP is moved to Luxembourg-based exchange. So is there some link between this? But what you have to think is, when these guys actually do this kind of huge transfers, say 11 million in USD, that's actually happening in seconds with a minute cost. So no banks can actually stop that, no governments can stop that. So that's kind of decentralized aspect of it. Now that's the first one in which we talked, highlighted the masses are already starting to wake up and hop on the boat. So like a big rapper with 1 million followers talking about XRP. So that's, if I personally don't recognize this guy, I'm sorry for that, but haven't saw this guy previously. Like if he's a well reputed, if he has 1 million viewers, then probably in his country he'll be a reputable guy. So in that aspect, it's like at least say 10% of his viewers are gonna use XRP, then that's gonna be a huge case, because then they'll actually deliver the news to their family, their members, their friends, and then the virus will be spreading from there, and it's already starting, right? Now we actually talked about the head and shoulder pattern forming here. Now in which what I would like to highlight is, like, at the same time, if you look at the MACD, you can see that the price is actually should be actually moving to the upside, and we have a little bit of upside here. But considering this area and this one, if we look at that, the price is actually moving to the upside. So that means the buyers are actually in, they are buying in. That means there is underlying strength in the market. And at the same time, if you look at the RSI, it's still at the resistance line, if you draw it like that, and it's bouncing back. So that means there are still potential that the price, like the market is indicating that there is a divergence, and it's potentially not gonna go up that way. Instead, it may consolidate here for a bit more. But at the same time, what I would like to highlight to you guys is, if you guys zoom out, you can see multiple divergence in the market. And at the same time, if you look, say for example, during this time frame, the market was like just consolidating there, and the RSI was showing you that till say 1, 2, and 3, the third point, it's gonna go down. There is like the price was actually going to the upside there, but the divergence was showing you that the price is gonna go down. But at that particular moment, it just spiked a bit up, confused the market by going back down, and then boom, that happened, right? So if you look at that again, go down, you will see this here. Again, the market was going to the downside, 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 downside. And here you actually got a bit of pump here, which is similar to where we are right now. And at that time, you got the RSI showing you that no, the price is going to go down again, price is going to go down, price is going to go down. And then boom, it just went to the upside. So if that's the case there, then yes, probably we are going to have that again here. Even though the RSI shows you this, it can actually go to the upside with a bit of volume, because if you look at the base supports there, you can actually see a trend forming like this. So it may come a bit down and then boom, go to the upside. Because if you look at the same in a daily chart, you can see that the MACD is crossing to the upside in the daily, and if you look at weekly, it has already done that, and we are getting consecutive weeks of green candles. So yes, once we get a confirmation for this one, we probably can move to the upside with that much volume available. Guys, that's all for today. And again, I would like to request you guys, please do support the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you guys like the content, do obliterate the like button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.